Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming, playing Stranded Alien Dawn. So as I signed into this thing, one of the things I noticed, which I like a lot about this game, is that every time you play through it, it's very different. I don't just mean the environment. This environment's really different to the last few I played, but as you saw at the sign, and if you saw the last video, you can pick your environment and the kind of terrain and the moon you're on, and so that, okay, that's fine. But also what I mean by that is dependent on the resources you find, which are always different. I don't just mean the plants, I mean the things you find from the spaceship. For example, there's a gun, the people you have with you. It's always very different. You can't predict how it's going to go or what you're going to have. I think in one game playthrough, for example, I think very early on I think I had 5 people because I found an extra survivor, or they turned up, and I had 5 guns for each of them. That's just an example, because I found guns in different wreckage areas, and there was a couple of guns in the ship. In another playthrough I've been playing for a long time, I've only still got 4 survivors, and I've still only got 2 guns because I never found another gun. So these things are very different, and that's just one example, that very different each time you play through. And I like that a lot, because lots of games, when you start until you get to like further into it, the beginning build up, as I like to call it, the busy work of, you know, getting your camp and doing a bit of resource gathering, etc., is always kind of the same. But in this, it's never the same. Even if you pick the same 4 survivors each time, because of the way the game works, the environment, what you'll find, what weapons you'll get, you won't have the same playthrough at all. So I think that's a really good thing about this game. So here we are, back from the last playthrough. I've continued literally from the last video, and we're off doing our busy work. But like I said, in this game it's a good game for that. I think that the observing, when you observe plants and animals, that works well. I like how the general structure is. So things you'll want to do, so we've already got our 2 shelters, so things we want to do, and I'll just pause it again, from the main menu, you'll kind of want to do the things you need to do to start a camp. So we've got the shelter, we've got sleeping spots, that's good. So then you just have to kind of think what else you'll need. Farming, we could, with things, because as soon as you discover a plant and you've researched it or observed it, you can build a field, but we don't really need that. We haven't got the space yet to do that, actually. That's another thing we saw. So you'll want to do this, which is a stockpile. The 2 things we'll need now at the moment are furniture, because people don't like apparently eating standing up, so we'll need to do that, but we haven't got any of the resources. You can make furniture from stone or wood or whatever, but we haven't got anything yet, so that's one. And this is important, this stockpile thing, because obviously it is what it is, it's a stockpile for resources, but the other thing that makes that important is once you've made this, your characters will randomly collect all the bits and pieces, like all these things lying around here, which are the emergency rations, the guns, anything that's been left, medicines from the crash wreckage, and they'll put it there. And why that's important is, one, because you've got it in your storage, and secondly, because if you want to equip guns and that's where I'll get them from. So what we'll do is we'll just get, like I said, this kind of fiddly little thing. Unfortunately, we've got an area here with loads of bushes, so, and you can hold down X and make as many of you want, and we'll just do quite a little stretch of it, but you'll need a lot of it in the end anyway. There, we've made storage. We could do another. Actually, we could do another. Just to even it up, if I can make it even, which is hard in this game. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, that's worked out really well. There you go. Fantastic. So we've got a storage place which they're building. It doesn't use a lot of anything or time, but it means that they've got a place to put stuff, and like I said, they'll pick up all this debris they'll need to scavenge the actual metal from the ship, but the other bits lying around, and they'll pick it all up, bring it there, and then you've got it available. You can make shells and things as well. So I just need to check what everybody's doing. Nova's cutting down trees, that's good, we need wood. She's observing. What's Rita doing? I don't know what she's doing. Rita, what are you doing? She's standing there. It's a bit lost. Let's see. Oh, she's transporting. Oh, she's picking up stuff. That's good. I like in this game as well how they'll do their own thing. So kind of like when you've not told them to do something, some of them will transport. They'll swap around tasks sometimes when one goes to sleep. Now I've not told them to pick up all these extra resources, but because there's a stockpile, you can see now it's literally happened straight away. So Rita's gone and picked up some medical supplies she's found, and she's bringing it to stockpile, which she wouldn't have done if that wasn't there. So that's good. And they'll end up picking up all these bits and pieces and bringing it all there. So that's good. They'll still be there if you don't build in a stockpile. They'll still stay, but it's better to have them all in one place. And like I said, it makes it much easier. You can see Rita's picking up everything now. She's picking up all the bits and pieces, which is one of those things you don't, a game mechanic you don't kind of work out for a bit until you've played it a few times. You don't realise that they need that stockpile thing to bring all the bits and pieces there. And you can see they're all getting them now, as if it's Christmas. Mackie's got a gun, and she's bringing it there. They won't equip the gun, they'll put the gun there for you to equip as you see fit. That's a whole another story in itself, which I'll come to. And now they're all doing the same thing, which is, like I said, I've not told them to do it, that's just what they do. So part of this game, I would say, is knowing what the AI and what the characters are going to do, what they do without you telling them. And there's quite a few things they do without you telling them, and they're all good. They go for little walks without you telling them, even if they're doing something. They go and eat without you telling them. They go to sleep without you telling them. They pick up stuff like this without you telling them. They change priorities, they change who's doing something if one goes to sleep or one goes off to do something more important. And that's really good, because it's kind of what they would do. Like if you had a place suddenly to put all the stuff you've found, and bearing in mind it's guns and medical supplies and emergency rations, you would go and get them as soon as you got somewhere. So I like how that works. I like the fact that it's got quite a bit of things you need to do yourself, but the characters themselves do things you don't need to tell them to. It'd be very irritating if you had to keep telling them to go to sleep or keep telling them to eat, or those kind of things. But they do them on their own, which is nice. So yeah, and they've got all the stuff. So Quinn's gone back to scavenging. Rita's found more bits over there, and they'll keep picking up the bits and pieces until it's all done. So then we'll just check, and Nova got interrupted in making her. Oh no, we have. Okay, so that's really good as well. So what you want also is a table and chairs, because they don't like eating standing up. That makes them unhappy. Although they've just been through this awful crash and they've only survived by a couple of days, they still get unhappy if they haven't got a table. So they go from being like glad to survive to being a bit sport very quickly. But anyway, so you want a table. Better to have a large one, because you want to seat the 4 people. You need to put it kind of as, doesn't have to be in front of there, it can be kind of anywhere. Like I said, the fact I've got all these bushes in front makes it even more annoying to place things. But anyway, I'm going to put it there. You can move it again, that's fine, because ideally I want to put a campfire there, so I moved it away on purpose. The chairs, when you put the chairs under the table, it's actually quite simple. I don't know why that's more simple than the other things to move around on, but anyway. You get that bit where you get to there and it goes green, and you put it there, and you'll find that you've done that quite simply. It's the easiest thing to do. Happy about that, which is good. If you want to check on your people, let's think of somebody. Let's get, where's Nova? You click on her, and then you can go for all her bits and pieces, her stats. So that's her kind of overall thing, what she's tolerant to, how much rest she's had, how happy she is, all those kind of things. Anything wrong with her, she's tough, so she doesn't get, you can see mental health, she can't experience meltdowns. I mean, she can't experience euphoria, but it's much better if she can't experience meltdowns. She's a tough cookie. That's why I said she's the one I always pick, because she's like the go-to one for fighting and scavenging, and that's what she's wearing. Now, if you want to, this is something I didn't learn early on, if you want to give them a weapon, what you need to do is go to this screen, you click on the directional buttons and go left, you go to this, and you can see that the little boxes move around, and that's how you equip items, clothing, hats, tools. And you go to this where it says gun, and it will tell you what guns you have, and you can tell her to equip it, and then theoretically she will do that. You see Nova equipping, and she will go and do that. It took me quite a while on, I think the second playthrough, to work out how to easily equip weapons. It was something that, Mackie fainted. I'll have a look at that in a minute. Let's just pause it again. Yeah, it took me a while. I think she got hit by lightning. Oh dear. It took me a while clicking on, like, there's the weapon on the ground, and I clicked on somebody to pick it up while they're picking it up, and I did manage to do it, but the way you do it is you just kind of put the supplies there and click on the person, and you can change the weapon like that. You can change their clothing if you've got new clothing, and that's how you get someone to pick up a weapon. So Mackie's been injured, and Rita is the medical one, so she's gone to rescue her, I would say, administer first aid, but she's gone to take her, she's carrying her to the bed, bless her. Nova is eating. So we've got our table, we've got our supplies, we've got, if we want to equip anybody else with a gun, we've got one more gun. We could equip that to whoever's good, and like I said, you want to equip the people that are good with guns, and you'll be able to find that. Let's just click on Rita. So it will tell you there for combat she's 3. That's quite good. So we would use probably her, because I think Quinny's 0 and I think Mackie's 0, so we would use her to pick an interrupter actually, because she's not doing anything there. She's administered healing. So then we'll just go there, and like I said, you do the left directional button, go there, it'll tell you we've got one gun left, and you just press X, and that means you'll go to equip it. And if you want to change the gun, if you've got more guns, you can change which gun somebody has as well. And you will want to later on. There's quite a few different guns. There's like rifles, which are good, and I've also had a sniper rifle, which you give to the person that's got the best skill with guns, because it's much harder to use. So I would give that to Nova, because I always have Nova, but you might have someone better than Nova who's better with guns. And they do build up their skills as well. So if you have someone that's good with combat and they keep doing combat, they'll build it up and go another level. The same with scavenging, the same with farming, the same with healing, etc, etc. So everyone is now either sleeping, Mackie's sleeping, or she's sleeping because she got hit by lightning. I mean, I would sleep. Rita, let's see if we can, I don't know what we've observed. I don't remember. We observed that? We have. We'll probably cut that. Yeah, we'll cut that down. Nova will go and do it, because whatever you end up doing, Nova's the one that seems to want to go and do it. See if we can find something specialist. And I think I said this, I touched on this in the first one. We looked at that. We can mine that. That might be worth mining. We'll mine that, and Nova can't do both things at the same time, so somebody else is going to have to pitch in a bit. Yeah, I would say you're better. The specialists that are focused on intelligence kind of things, and the ones that are focused on farming, especially those ones, sometimes they don't have many other skills, and I found that sometimes it's hard to find things for them to do, especially the ones that don't scavenge or fight, really. It's hard to find things for them to do, and I've had a situation quite often where I've kind of had one specialist or crew member, whatever, who's not really had anything much to do because they won't scavenge and they won't mine and they don't fight, and we've farmed or done that whatever we needed to do for their skill. We've done enough farming, we've laid all their fields, and there's nothing left for them to do. So those ones aren't always the best ones to pick. That's just from my own playthrough, but you may know how to utilise them better than me. So again, I like this in the game as well, that people don't all just go to bed on cue. So you've got Mackie sleeping because she got hit by lightning, that's fair enough. Rita's sleeping because she cured Mackie, and that was probably quite stressful for her. And Nova and Quinn are out doing stuff because they are still wide awake and they've got a bit more energy. Like I said, I've not gone through all the different specialists in this game, or crew members, whatever, but you always want at least one that's a good construction person like Quinn, because that's something you do a lot, and you want a Nova kind of person that's a fighter, that's tough, that does scavenging, because that's useful, because it's easy for people to have meltdowns and they only want to do healing, but you need the ones that are going to tough it out. So maybe not all of them, but I think I mentioned in the first video I had a very annoying playthrough once when I had a really annoying person that kept having breakdowns and crying, and I was like, oh my god, get on with it. That might sound brutal, but... So the only other thing we need to do to kind of get our beginners camp set up is we need to do a campfire. And to do a campfire we will need stone, and we will need branches or sticks, I think they call it in this. And sticks can come from hay, that's no use. That gives wood, we really want sticks. We'll find it. But yeah, you want a fire because they'll get cold. I mean, it depends on centigrade outdoors, so it's actually kind of warm. But I have one where I'm doing a desert one, and it's very cold at night. It's even very cold in the day. I think it's -7 in the day. So depending on what climate you're in, you might want a fire very quickly. All these plants have different things, so if you look at each one, you've got, that one gives hay, which can be useful. They tell you when they were discovered, what they do, how they'll grow, what temperatures, lots of little technical bits and pieces. Same with this. Palm meat, which is useful. Sausage palm, actually sounds kind of nice. And palm oil, so that's a very useful plant actually. And you'll find different things. The further you go, you'll find different things. I've never been in a playthrough where I've got so much vegetation around me, which is a new thing. Usually, even in the kind of grassy areas, there's quite a lot of fieldy kind of areas and some bushes and trees, but this is surrounded by palms and things. But that's fine. It means we're going to have no problem with greenery, wood, sausage palms, and oil. So yeah, it's all good. What's that? If you look at that, dandelion tree, dandelion spores, healing balm, dandelion tea. Yeah, we've landed in like a garden that really won't have other resources as common. So maybe there's not as many minerals. Maybe there's not as many. I haven't really seen that many crash areas actually. Usually. There's one over there I think, but usually there's quite a lot of crash areas, so maybe this is a place where there's not that many scavengeable wrecks, I don't know, but there's always a trade-off with all things. So there you go. All we need to do is build a campfire. We haven't got the facility to build it yet, but we will. We're still adding wood. Nova's going to sleep. Go to sleep, Nova. You've done a lot. And Quinn's still, bless him, he's still scavenging the old ship for metal. I will let him. You can't. Well, you can't really, as far as I know, you can't actually order them to bed. So if he wants to stay up late and scavenge, if that's his thing, then go for it. There is things later where you can research stuff, and one of the things you research is how to make them need less sleep. I can't remember what they call it, but that's what the upshot is anyway. So I like they do these things. So like that's kind of what you would do. You know, you've been working all day, it's late, everyone's gone to bed. Well, you would you just sit and chill. That little icon, if you see above where it's got Quinn, is that little. It looks like a person doing a yoga position. That's the little icon you get when they're doing something relaxing. If they're going for a walk, or they're chilling, or they're sitting, that's the kind of little icon you get. And I like that they do those. This is only video number 2. I will definitely make at least another couple, just to get to a bigger part of exploration, maybe a bit of combat, and a bit of research, which we haven't touched on yet. Anyway, thanks for watching Guessagaingaming. Till next time, take care.